Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays, whatever it is you celebrate. I hope you're with your family and you're having a good time. We out here on the road, so we had to get creative. Let's do this. Woo! So, last week started out with 45 and his goons banning 7 words from the CDC's budget. Well, fuck it. Clearly science can kick the bucket. Stick a hand straight up the butt and turn data into a puppet. This truly loony buffoon might as well be a big-ass giant muppet. So, unlike him, let's break down this issue, intelligently discuss it. Keep the meter running, cause I stay seeing life in couplets. This man who is blind to fools will always find himself a tool. Yeah, think about that. Okay. First of all, there are conflicting claims with this issue. Some reports say that the Center for Disease Control, aka the CDC, was told not to use 7 specific words when formulating their budgetary needs to the president and congressional Republicans. On the other hand, the director of the CDC says that this was actually just an in-house suggestion made in a meeting where they were figuring out how to actually get said president and congressional Republicans to take their budgetary concerns seriously. Hey, Brenda Fitzgerald, director of the CDC. I don't mean to be disrespectful, yo, but that's not any better, homie. Science does not need to dumb itself down to our current political landscape. Politics did not prevent HIV/AIDS from epidemically spreading across Indiana when Mike Pence shut down its needle exchange program. It caused it. Science saved it when dumbass Pence realized he messed up and reopened the clinics to solve the epidemic he caused. Politics hasn't saved us from the current opioid and prescription drug abuse problem in America. It caused it. As big pharma lobbies continue to caress congressional nutsacks and convince America that poor blacks and Latinos selling weed on the corner is more detrimental to American health than their billion-dollar racket of peddling pills like Skittles and procuring the painful profits. We need science to have a backbone, Brenda. Straighten up and fly right. My cannons are locked and loaded, because you know I'm bringing this lyrical fight. Okay, suggested word number 1, vulnerable. We have a leader who is under federal investigation, who seeks to polarize the nation, tweets of self-masturbation for his own aggrandization, addicted to adoration with 0 accreditation, who's in an active altercation with lawyers bringing harassment allegations. Of course, he doesn't want to see the word vulnerable in the budget. That's what dictators do. Erase vulnerabilities from the country's philosophies. America was weak and vulnerable. I promise to make it great again. We must erase our vulnerabilities to be the greatest country in the world. Congratulations, America. You literally elected Vladimir Putin's dim-witted little brother. Suggested word number 2, diversity. It comes as zero shock to me that diversity is on this list. There need be no further precursory certainty that Trump wants cosmetic surgery on Lady Liberty's face than his support of Jeff Sessions ending the DACA program for Dreamers. You see, these lying sacks of Cleveland steamers say, build a wall. They ream the lowly Mexican cleaner for stealing jobs, committing crimes, and raping American culture. Meanwhile, they support the immigrants who come to America to commit white-collar crimes. The Agit Pies become America's brides with their veil of capitalistic cataracts blinding their eyes. It comes as no surprise that if you help the large corporations gain control of the one piece of technology that levels the economic access to education, the internet, no one questions the validity of your birth certificate. No one from ICE demanding your papers in triplicate. No one wishing your diminishment. You're magnificent, a part of the corporate syndicate, no lowly economic indigent. Meanwhile, one biracial president wants to seek hope and change for the highly diverse amount of poor and middle-class people in our country, and y'all spent 8 years seeking his demise, spreading as many lies as possible, erecting every obstacle. Redundantly, I say, it comes as no surprise that diversity would be optional to keep the budget optimal for Trump's agenda, which is scientifically irresponsible. So Trump and those suggested congressional Republicans do not care about diversity of humans. They care about the opposite, the unification of power and wealth, which isn't red, white, or blue. It's purely green. Words number 3 and 4. Need I say any more than it comes down to a certain set of people who are addicted to Christianity? I want you to note my phraseology. It is very deliberate, because a good Christian would never fear anything different. I grew up Catholic. I read the Bible's words, went to Notre Dame, the home of Father Hesburgh, and it is embarrassingly absurd that the words fetus and transgender could turn off so many American Christians that suggesting those words not be a part of some budgetary missions. Jesus never said that you have to like everyone you come in contact with. Jesus never said you even have to agree with everyone you come in contact with. He said you're supposed to love your fellow brothers and sisters and treat them the way that you would want to be treated. Why? Because we're all sinners. None of us is innocent of the human condition. We are the same. God took a day off from chilling in the Ethereum to come down to little old Earth and remind human beings that y'all ain't in control of shit. I created you. I can literally end you whenever I want. You do not get a say in the matter. And of all the messages that I read in the Bible, that's the one I related to the most. That's the one that I understand. Because my best friend's mom was one of the kindest people I've ever met on this planet. If she hadn't picked me up from that daycare center that one day in 4th grade, who knows where I'd be in this world today. She battled cancer for years, times of extreme pain and hardship, and she was selected to no longer grace this earthly existence with her kindness. Meanwhile, Donald Trump brags about sexually harassing women, said he could shoot whoever he wanted on 5th Avenue with no consequence, eats absolute trash food all day, every day, caring so little for his bodily temple, as you Christians like to say. And yet he's alive, well, and the President of the United States. I feel you, God. I will remain humbled because I sure as hell don't understand that. So my question then becomes, people who fear abortion and transgender without having a single amount of personal experience with it, or even scientific understanding of it, what are you afraid of? Do you fear judgment upon death? Do you fear the unknown? Guess what? Every human being fears that, including our transgender brothers and sisters who just want the same access to medical solutions that we all have. Or any woman who is scared to death to have a child, for whatever reason, that they be able to seek both top quality religious options as well as top quality scientific ones. We all want that same human comfort, to know that there's at least a solution to whatever human crisis is facing us. So please, you loudmouth, non-humble Christians, please stop preventing our scientists from further understanding the truth of our humanness. I'm through with this, you hypocrites. I shouldn't have to bring it up, but because of this tomfoolishness, I have to put it on display. Many of our gynecological experiments were practiced on unwilling slaves. That's right. Imagine someone poking and prodding you without your say, but yet you still see that OBGYN today because you know how many lives it saves. Nothing in America is clean or innocent, and yet you go on living. So how about let's be a little more forgiving? You don't have to like what they study, but let's be a little more willing to follow Jesus' humility. Judge not lest ye be, and I'll leave those blanks for you to keep filling. The last 3 words are super duper easy, and by that I mean ridiculous, like Trooper Cooper sneezing. I just literally said the first 3 words that came to my mind, which is the same as saying you need money for a scientific study based on neither evidence nor science. That's the definition of entitlement, the belief that one is inherently deserving of privileges or special treatment. Only someone catastrophically entitled would need a budget for scientific research that was not 100% based on both evidence and science, regardless of whether he asked for it that way or you just think he's too dumb or too prejudiced to buy it. Either argument is a steaming hot pile of entitlement. Trump, you are so violent to my mind. It's so damn tiring. Acquiring the energy to fight it is requiring so much extra wiring. I'm only 30 and considering retiring. Brenda, I believe you. I believe that this story got conflated and taken out of context very quickly, but it does not change the fact that it is embarrassing that in meetings at the Center for Disease Control, you guys have fear and trepidation in asking for the reality of what your scientific research requires. So I do not let you off the hook. Science should be a leader of political decisions, not the follower. That's your responsibility to me and the generations that come after me. Quote, 2 things are infinite, the universe and human stupidity, and I'm not sure about the universe. End quote. Brenda, don't let Einstein down.